Healthcare and Social Security Agency, or Bpjs Kesehatan, is predicted to face a deficit of 32.84 trillion rupiah by the end of the year. The figure includes the default of 9.1 trillion rupiah that could not be fulfilled by the agency by 2018. And therefore, government must immediately execute plans to overcome this deficit. And in this segment, I would like to present you some data about Bpjs Kesehatan's deficit and some strategies to overcome the deficit. And the first data will be about the percentage of people in buying their Bpjs Kesehatan. So take a look on the data. So we can see this is the facts about Bpjs Kesehatan in 2018. As we know that participants and compliance in paying the Bpjs premiums is only about 46.3%, while the disobedient of participants in paying Bpjs monthly fee, as we know, is bigger, 53.7%. And the Deputy Finance Minister Mardiasmo revealed that by October 2019, the deficit incurred by the Healthcare and Social Security Agency, or Bpjs Kesehatan, stemmed about 50% of independent participants or non-wage worker that did not make regular premium payments. And so far, only 50% that have them pay the premiums. Registrants make the payments when they get sick, and after receiving health services, they stop and no longer pay the premiums. And Mardiasmo noted that the number of independent participants amount to 32 million, or 14% of the total participants, which reached 223 million people to date. And how about Bpjs deficit trend? So let's check the next graphic. So this is Bpjs deficit trend. Take a look at 2015. It only hit 5.7 trillion rupiah deficit. It's still big, but in 2016, they have quite surging here by 9.7 trillion rupiah, while 2017, it hiked also by 9.75 trillion rupiah, while in 2018, we can see it decreased a bit by 9.1 trillion rupiah, but then in 2019, it got surprisingly hiked to be 32.84 trillion rupiah. And Bpjs Kesehatan is predicted to face a deficit of 32.84 trillion deficit by the end of the year. And the figures conclude that the default of 9.1 trillion rupiah cannot be filled by the agency in 2018. And therefore, the Deputy Finance Minister Mardiasmo suggested that the government must immediately execute plans to overcome the deficit. One of the strategies to overcome Bpjs Kesehatan deficit is by raising its monthly fee in 2020. So therefore, let's see the scheme throughout the next graphic. So this is the plan on Bpjs Kesehatan payments raised in 2020. First of all, the assistant beneficiaries. Those kind of people are being paid by the government for the Bpjs. So as we can see, in the current dues is only like 23,000 rupiah, but in 2020, it will go by 42,000 rupiah. While for the first class participants for the current due, it would be 160,000 rupiah. For the second class, right now, the current dues are 51,000 rupiah, while in 2020, it will gain up by 110,000 rupiah. While for the third class participant for the current due is right now 25.5 thousand rupiah, but in 2020 due, it would be 42,000 rupiah. And Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati said that the government is able to cover the deficit of the Healthcare and Social Security Agency, or Bpjs Kesehatan, up to 13.5 trillion rupiah, as long as the premium is increased. The premium hike can be applied if there is a premium adjustment for participant in the category of contributions assistance recipients, or PBI. both from the central and regional administrations. So as suggested, the increase of 19,000 rupiah from 23 rupiah to 42 rupiah. She said that the financial aid can be given if the government wants to cover the premium payment until August, until September and December the person. But the figure is also added from the central government's bailout for regional PBI, which is amounted to 37 million people. And then how about Bpjs Kesehatan payment distributions? So let's see the next slide. So we have a lot of categories in here by Bpjs Kesehatan payments distributions. First of all, thalassemia. Bpjs Kesehatan have 0.38 trillion rupiah distributions, while for kidney failure, it hit 1.8 trillion rupiah, while for stroke, it has 1.9 trillion rupiah, and cancer for 2.7 trillion rupiah, and heart disease, which is the foremost among all, is 7.7 trillion rupiah. Costly treatment for heart disease, kidney failure, and cancer, health problems that could be prevented by healthier lifestyle or curable with the early detections, have bogged down Indonesia Universal Health Insurance Scheme in the past few years and implied Health Insurance Agency Bpjs Kesehatan deficit problem. BPJS spokesman Iqbal Anas Ma'ruf said that the agency spent almost like 78 trillion rupiah or 5.5 billion US dollar throughout 2014 to 2018. Around 17% of the agency spending over the period to pay for that kind of treatment for the 3 serious illness. To improve Bpjs Kesehatan payment collectibility, government planning to issue presidential regulations. So therefore, let's see the next slide. So these are the presidential decree on Bpjs Kesehatan payment violators. So the payment violators cannot access public services, including passport, bank credit, land certificate, and so on. And also, not only that, the payment violators will be subjected to 26 ministries and bodies. So what are these aimed for? These aim for optimizes National Health Guarantee Program and to optimize Bpjs Kesehatan payment collectibility. Deputy Minister of Finance Mardiasmo said that the government is preparing sanctions to punish people who skip paying their health care and Social Security Agency or Bpjs Kesehatan premium. According to Finance Ministry official, the offenders will be difficult to get public services starting from making a building permit, business license, certificate of company registrations, driver's license, passport and vehicle registration certificates. But however, Head of Advocacy for Bpjs Watch Timbul Siregar considers that issuing a presidential instructions is not necessary because the sanctions have been mentioned in the government regulations number 86 year 2013. And according to Timbul Siregar, the sanctions have not been implemented by local governments, police, immigrations and other institutions that carry out the public services. Weak enforcement and sanctions can also be seen from many business entities that not registered their workers to Bpjs Kesehatan. And as a part of community, we better actively participate in enhancing Bpjs Kesehatan payment collectibility so the deficit can be minimized and Bpjs Kesehatan can give its best service to the people. And then stay tuned on market headlines because we will be right back after the quick break.